Hey guys, how you doing? This is Adrian here from SoCal Backyard Orchard, located here in Vista, California, North San Diego County, about 9 miles from the ocean, here in the Vista foothills, climate zone 10A. And just want to do a August backyard orchard tour. I probably won't do all the trees. I want to concentrate in that area right there. That's where most of my trees are, and there's some over here too, and some up next to the house. But just want to show you this guamuchil tree, and I have a video on this tree here from, gosh, maybe almost 2 years ago. It was much smaller, and you can see it's flowering right now. And I've never seen this many flowers on it, so it'll probably have a lot more fruit on it this year. And guamuchiles are really easy to grow. They can be pretty drought tolerant, but of course they do a lot better when you water them frequently. But this one, you know what, I don't water it too much. It's right here on a slope. The soil dries out quicker up here. There's a lot of rocks in the soil. It seems like when they did construction around here, they dumped a lot of rocks and stuff in there. I find bricks. So it's kind of tough soil here, a tough area for other trees like avocados and citrus and other trees like that. This one's a pretty tough tree. It's doing pretty good right here in this location. I do have a little caro orange tree right here. Seems to be struggling just a little bit. It probably needs a little more water, probably some fertilizer too, but it'll be fine. Got a fig tree right here, and actually they are starting to ripen up. Looks like that one's pretty much ready to eat. So I'll have to come back when I'm done with the video and have a snack. Passion fruit. There's the passion fruit. It's taking over this other fig tree right here. There's some passion fruits on the ground there, and it's only been a few days that they're actually ripening and dropping on the ground. But once they're on the ground like that, I pick them up and leave them on the counter for around a week, another week, and they'll taste a lot better, a little bit sweeter, less tart. So there's the passion fruit. It's growing. This is an avocado tree I killed almost 2 years ago from overwatering, and I don't want to tell you guys the whole story right now, but I do have a video on it. But I did water it too much and it got sick. It started dropping all its leaves, and I tried to fix the problem, but it was too late. Tree died. The banana. And look at the Mexican sunflower. I don't know if I talked about these or showed these in the other videos. I can't remember, but this thing is like at least about 9 feet tall. Pretty nice flowers. They kind of do look like sunflowers. But the nice thing about this plant is these dying leaves produce, add so many nutrients to the soil. Nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Good levels of it. Balanced levels of it will feed my soil. So they call it a chop and drop plant. They'll chop it when it's about this height, so I gotta do that pretty soon. Chop it down and then drop everything around the fruit trees, and it's natural fertilizer. Here's another one right here. And here's the acerola. or Barbados cherry. It does have some aphids, it looks like. Sorry, I think you can't see very well. I'm not using my my GoPro right now. GoPro is actually not very good for recording you know, garden videos anyways. There's the Pakistani mulberry. No fruit on it anymore. It stopped fruiting about a month and a half ago. But I was happy with the length of the fruiting season. It was actually about 3 or 4 months, so that was really nice. Just planted this Brazilian papaya. Picked this one up at Lowe's. It was about $17, something like that. And I really enjoy growing papaya. They do pretty good here in my microclimate. I've lived here 4 years, a little over 4 years, and I have yet to see any frost on this property. Down there where you see that red car, that's kind of like the lowest point in the property, and that's where I haven't seen it, but my wife early in the morning has seen some frost on the floor down there, but not up here. There's the cherimoyas. The two varieties I have are Fino de Jete and El Bumpo. And then there's the Atamoya. You can see they're, especially the Atamoya, is getting pretty tall. And some of my trees, I want to keep them smaller. But I also like large trees. You know, I want nice shade back here. And I probably won't be planting any more trees in this area, at least. But like the Atamoya, it's one that I just want it to get really tall. And yeah, I'll probably have a little bit of trouble picking the fruits that are higher, but I think with a bigger tree I'm gonna get more fruit. And Atamoyas, you don't have to pick all at the same time. You can pick what you need. Eventually you will, though. I mean, they can't hold on the tree that long, but it's not like plums or peaches or nectarines where the season is a lot shorter. So it does have some fruit on it now. Some small fruits. Another one back there. There's one right there. It's got at least like 10 fruits on it right now. And then the cherimoyas do too. There's a nice size one right there. I've been doing hand pollinating on the cherimoyas. I did it for about a month straight. And now that I see that there are some fruits holding on the tree, there's another one. I'm pretty much happy with the amount of fruit on the trees, so I stopped doing the hand pollinating for now. There's another passion fruit here. I'm growing over the chicken run area. And this is one that doesn't produce a lot of fruit without hand pollinating. And here's a tiger fig. There's the pomegranate tree. This is wonderful pomegranate. And this is one I've kind of been pruning to keep the branches out of the way. I don't need a ton of pomegranates, so it's okay if this tree stays smaller. And next to it is a African tree. It's called weeping boar bean, or AKA African walnut. Scotia brachypetala, and it's flowering for the first time. It's flowering finally after about 3 years in the ground. The tree's probably about 4 years old. There's a grapefruit tree over in the back, red banana. And I'm gonna go around back here. This is a Manzano type of banana. I thought it was ice cream banana, but it already fruited. And they're not ice cream, they're just like a Manzano type. And that's what happens sometimes, especially if you buy plants from just people off of Craigslist or neighbors or something. You know, a lot of times you're not gonna get what they think it is or what you think it might be. But they were good, and I was happy that the plants are vigorous. And I've been getting questions on bananas, so maybe I should talk a little bit about bananas. They've been asking me like how long they take to fruit, what to feed them, how much to water them. And I've been noticing, because I have about 4 or 5 varieties, something like that. Some varieties grow a lot quicker than others. This one was a very fast growing variety. It pretty much fruited in less than a year. And of course, the original plant that I'm talking about, I cut it down because bananas only provide one rack of fruit, and then you gotta cut the plant down to give more room and more energy to the pups that are gonna grow out. Water, of course, that all depends on your soil type. I have like a clay loam here with mulch, so I don't have to add a ton of water. Normally about once or twice a week, maybe about 10 gallons. 10 to 15 gallons for these plants right here is enough. And someone also asked if they should cut off these leaves, the older leaves, and yes, I definitely do. I cut them off because as long as they're still hanging on the plant, it's probably sucking some energy away from the plant. So I like to cut them off as soon as they start looking like this. As soon as they're yellowish, or you know, they start looking brown or whatever, it's better to just cut them off. That way the energy keeps going into the new growth, because the faster you can get the bananas to grow, the faster you're gonna have fruit. So I think it's very hard to kill bananas from overwatering. They would have to pretty much be sitting in a pond. I've watered some of my banana plants almost every day sometimes, and I had no issues. I actually got some faster growth. So try to get them to grow faster. Give them a good amount of water. Definitely fertilizer, organic fertilizer. You can use chicken manure, high nitrogen, you know, because all those large, nice green leaves do need nitrogen. But when you see the flower coming out, then you can switch to providing more potassium. Here's the reed avocado. Some very nice growth on it, but none of my or actually most of my avocados are not gonna fruit for me this year. It's a bad thing, but it's a good thing too. See, there's the Mexicola. Bad thing is I'm not gonna have fruit. Good thing is these trees that are not fruiting are putting all their energy into new growth. As you can see with that Mexicola, it's got a lot of nice new vigorous growth on it, so that's That's definitely a good thing. That means next year, because a lot of avocado varieties are alternate bearing, that means next year I'll have a lot more fruit than I did last year with all the growth the tree's putting on. There's a seedling. The seedling avocado. Some more pomegranate. The Fuerte right next to the reed. No flowering, no fruits on the Fuerte this year. Or the reed, but I do still have, let's see. I think I only got one left. One left on it, that's it. It had about 15 to 20 avocados. That's the last one right there. I did recently switch to these micro sprayers here. I like them because they're taller and you know, stuff doesn't get in the way. The ones that go right on the ground, you know, sometimes the leaves will cover them up and they won't spray farther, you know. These ones are working out pretty nicely, and I normally turn that on average about once a week for a few hours each time. So about 3 or 4 hours on average once a week during the summertime. And there's the Jaboticaba Brazilian fruit tree there. Gosh, this is not recording very well. I'm using my cell phone. Looks kind of blurry. Here's the Lamb Haws avocado. This one did flower and did set some fruit. There's one right there. And then there's another one in the back. I think it's got about 5 or 6 fruits on it. And it's putting on some nice growth. What I gotta do as soon as possible before the heat waves hit again is I'm gonna use the IV Organics, and I'm gonna protect these trees from sunburn. So I will post a video on that whenever I do that. So there's the Fuerte on the other side. It's probably my largest avocado so far. Another pomegranate, but this is the Parfianca. Here's a Thai dwarf papaya. It looks like that one's ready to pick. Ooh, it just came off. It's ready. These are really, really good. And there's dwarf Cavendish banana. Someone asked me about dwarf Cavendish, about how long they take to fruit, and since it's a dwarf, I'm thinking that's probably why they're a little bit more slow growing, because this one's been in the ground for at least a year, and I think it's gonna take a little while longer to fruit. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. And then those other taller ones right there are Goldfinger. There's the Malaysian guava. That's getting pretty tall. And this is one that I might prune to keep it a little shorter, because there are a couple loquat trees behind it. So if I let this tree get too big, it's gonna shade them out. Here's another papaya. And then a jackfruit. Jackfruit tree, it started off really, really slow. And now it's starting to put out some nice growth. More bananas right here. And these bananas, I think I got about 3 racks. There's one right there. and then one over there. But these are like these are like those really tiny finger bananas or whatever they call them. Here's another lamb haws. This one's putting on some nice growth. It's definitely way taller than me now. And it did not flower either, but it does still have a few avocados down there somewhere. There's some right here. So lamb haws is good to have if you have like a regular haws, and then you add lamb haws and maybe reed or fuerte, then you can have avocados for more months out of the year. Because this is August and those are still on the tree. So, and they're still not completely black, so they could hang on the tree probably at least another month or two. So I would say the season on this lamb haws here in my climate is probably late June through September, and maybe even longer than that. Here's all my girls. There's the loquat tree, no fruit of course. These fruit in the springtime here. And let's go down this way. Some more bananas. This is my best banana variety here. It's the best because it just fruits really good. These are the ones close to where my water supply is, so they get a lot more water because they're just really close, and I usually every morning I give them a little bit of water. And this is also a manzano type, but this is like a dwarf. If you can see, I mean, this rack is like I would say 5 feet high. So it's going to be very easy to harvest this rack of bananas. And the flavor is very good on these. Underneath it is a Rio Grande cherry. You can see it's getting quite tall now. The guavas are coming in nicely. You know, they're about almost quarter size. And they're all over the tree, man. This tree produces a lot of guava. And I haven't had any issues with worms in my guavas either. Somebody was asking me about that, but see, something I don't have experience with, I really can't answer. So there it is. And then behind the guava is the ice cream bean tree, which has been fruiting for, gosh, since the springtime. If you see my last video, my last tour, it was fruiting back then, and it's still fruiting right now. There's one right here on the ground that's ready to eat. Ice cream bean. Very fast growing tree. Very pleased with this tree. Look at the trunk. After only, I think, about 3 years in the ground. Not bad. And then see, there's more trees out there. That's the rootstock on a California Pride mango. The California Pride died off for some reason. I think a gopher might have gotten to it, and now the rootstock's taken over, which is probably a Manila rootstock. So I do like Manila mangoes, so I'm just gonna let it keep doing its thing. Another guava in the back here, and a Suriname cherry. And a little Kerry mango tree here that needs a little bit of attention. I gotta remove those suckers down on the bottom. Probably give it some organic fertilizer, more water. It's hard for me to keep up during the summertime because I do heating and air conditioning for a living, so you can imagine in the summertime I'm real busy. Some more bananas right here. I think I already showed those actually. And that's about it for now, guys. That's about it. And I invite you guys to follow me on Instagram. Same thing, SoCal Backyard Orchard. If you guys have questions or whatever, it's a lot easier for me to answer those questions through my Instagram than it is YouTube. So check out SoCal Backyard Orchard on Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And it's cool, I've been discovering other people in Southern California that like to grow tropical fruits. So I'm starting to meet more people and know more people that are into this, so this is just gonna keep growing. I have attended my first California tropical fruit trees, or California rare fruit growers meeting, and I would like to attend again and keep attending as soon as I can. So alright guys, well, happy gardening, and we'll see you next time.